Simon, do you want to talk us through the Adam Tomlinson decision?
Yeah, look, it's pretty simple for Tomo. He's just out of form at the moment. So we're going to work really closely with Tomo to get him back in form. We've got some guys that are in form, with training and also some of the match simulations. So opportunity to bring some of those guys in and get Tomo back into some form to come back into the team.
It's clearly going to take some interest, though, given 4 games into a long-term 4-year deal. How do you sort of talk to him about that? And I know, is it a pride hit? How does he accept he might this to happen a month into his new club?
Oh, look, he's been terrific. He's aware that he's not playing his best footy. He wants to be, playing his best footy and be at the club for a long time. And, we're not interested in what the contract looks like. We're interested in what he's going to win this week and pick the team that we think is going to win. So, unfortunately for Adam, he's not in that, but he's a quality person. He'll work his way back in.
Simon, is Adam one that maybe given at a new club and you're not having a lot of time around each other to build that connection, has that been an issue at all in terms of embedding him into the style?
Oh, no, he's been here now for 6 months. He knows how we play. He knows what we want from him from a role perspective. I think coming away with the group for the next 5 weeks is going to be terrific for our whole group. Just to build that connection, build that understanding. We haven't had a lot of time together, so to be able to do that away from Melbourne, obviously in Manly and spend some time together is going to be invaluable for our group.
What are the things that you'd like to see from him when he goes back and plays in the match sim that you can share with us?
Oh, look, he's really clear on it. I don't think I need to share what that looks like. We just got to get him playing better for what his role demands, and he's a quality person. As I said, he's going to do that and he's going to go away and work on it.
Simon, what was it that Harley Bennell did to earn a recall? What were you impressed with, and I guess why were you prepared to bring him back this week?
I guess Harley's always been an interesting topic of conversation. Clearly he'd done a bit of work and he got his game in round 2, but there were still gaps in the way that he played. There's still gaps in his footy durability, and there's still gaps in getting the load in that was required to play really good AFL footy. So we've used the last 4 weeks to do that. He's showing some really good signs in the match simulation, and probably looking back, we probably may have waited a little bit longer had we given the choice again. But he's in good form and he's going to help our team, and we think he's going to be better this time around.
Simon, what have you made of the criticism that's come the team's way this week? We've had former players and former colleagues of yours have all sort of had a bit to say. Every coach is different. Some coaches use it, some coaches ignore it. Where do you sit?
I think the noise is the noise. We understand for the position that we're in that there's going to be noise, and it hasn't been short of an opinion right across the board, from past players to past coaches to experts in the game about what should be happening. And all I say is that we're not sitting around here saying woe us. We know we need to get better, but we're up for that challenge. Our supporters need to know that we're working really hard. And we want to do really well. So, we're 1-3. There's plenty left in this season. There's plenty left to work through, and we're going to keep doing that.
Is it frustrating, though, personally, that former players is one thing, but when you've got former colleagues that have been there in the inner sanctum with you, now coming out and being critical of what's going on, does that hurt?
Oh, I'm not going to talk about the specifics. People come and go in this industry from various clubs, whether it be players, whether it be staff. And when you're out of the environment, you don't really know what's going on. All we are focused on is what we can control internally. We understand there's going to be noise. It's easy to develop noise, whether you're playing well, whether you're playing poorly. And right now, we're at a position as a club where at 1-3, the noise has started against us, but we are up for that challenge. We understand the noise. We understand what's in front of us. And it doesn't disappoint me. It's just a reality of the industry of where you sit.
And you pushed the reigning premier pretty close last week. So what's been the internal assessment of your form, despite the string of losses?
To be the team that you want to become, you need to be good in all 3 phases of the game. And, there's a couple of phases that are going really strongly for us, and there's one phase that's probably letting us down. And, there's certainly times in games where we're beating ourselves. So we need to work on that. We need to make sure we operate in all 3 phases of the game to play the style of footy and to win games of footy that we want to do. So we're under no illusions there. We don't think we're that far away. We think there's some opportunity there. and we're pretty close to putting together a really good fourth quarter performance.
Simon, why hasn't Neville Jetta been able to get a game until this week?
Very similar, he just wasn't in form. He's gone back and worked really hard and worked his way back into form. I think the 13v13 the last couple of weeks has been really good for him from a decision-making perspective, and he's found his way back in the team. So we're looking forward to getting Nev back to his best.
Uncertainty is probably the certainty this season, isn't it? I know we'd hoped to have a bit more of an extended fixture today. It looks like that's going to be on hold for another few days. Have you been given any indication of where you might be at next week, if you'll be staying where you are, what the go is?
We haven't been given any indication. We've been told that we've probably got 5 weeks in Sydney, but where that takes us, we're not sure. No one really knows yet, but we've got Gold Coast obviously tomorrow, and then Hawthorn the following week, and I think we'll get an idea of what it looks like going forward, in the not too distant future.
How is it actually going? I mean, we've seen Brett Ratton, I think, started a tennis tournament up in Noosa a couple of days ago, and we've seen Richmond guys, giving each other haircuts and all the rest of it. The Gold Coast half. What's it been like for you guys?
Very similar. Christian Salem thinks he's a bit of a hairdresser, so he's getting a few boys done at the moment. But we've also had a staff, players, table tennis, competition, all those things that build some connection. We've got a lot of families up here, a lot of kids with our travelling parties. So that's great for our footy club. The kids are really enjoying themselves. The players are spending some time with other players' kids, and it's just a great environment to be in, and it's something that we haven't had back in Melbourne for a fair while. We've been in and out of the club, and we're going to use these 5 weeks as a club to really build that connection and build that purpose of a club and that real connection.
Who got the chockies in the table tennis, Simon?
What was that?
Who got the chockies in the table tennis tournament?
A couple of footy tech guys, they think they're going pretty well. Stafford and myself got knocked out in the quarters. I think Marnie and Burns got through to the semi-finals. So, yeah, there's a bit going on over here, but it's good fun.
Has that helped the mindset of the players, Simon, given it was a difficult week in terms of criticism? Has it helped them to have, I guess, getting used to the hub to kind of take some of their mind off it and moving families and things like that? Or, yeah, I guess the general question is how have they taken that, the heavy criticism this week?
They're fine. They're not getting bitter. They just want to get better. And it's pretty simple. The noise is the noise. It's around. It's an AFL industry. We know what it looks like. Coming away to Manly, we don't hear and see as much. It filters its way back. But the players are up for the challenge. I think they've done the work. They know that the game's not too far away. And they're looking forward to showing everyone what they're capable of doing. And we get another opportunity tomorrow.
We've got the prospect too, Simon, of a condensed fixture now, a few back-to-back games, sort of a bit of talk today about extended benches and a few other additions that might help. Would you be in favour of something like that?
I think we've got enough on the bench now. I think the game time's been shortened. I think teams can turn around. We're up for that. Whatever the AFL give us, we'll obviously adapt to. But more than comfortable with the bench remaining the same, and getting the 22 players out there for the 80% game time that the game's become.
Hey, Simon, can I ask you a bit of a weird one? Last night, or yesterday afternoon, there were rumours sort of sweeping around Sydney that anyone who entered from Victoria would have to quarantine for 14 days. Were you all aware of that, and was there any worries at any stage? Turns out the story was wrong, by the way.
First time I've heard of it, but sounds like a beauty.
Yeah, sure. No worries.
Hey, Simon, did you take your whole squad up to Sydney, or did you leave some players behind?
Yeah, no, we left some players behind. We built a Sydney-based program and also a Melbourne-based program, and that was a really, obviously, difficult decision, to leave some players behind. But we have got 6 or 7 guys that are in the 33 that have brought, wives and kids along, and it's quite a big party. And if this does extend further, we'll work with the AFL about what that looks like for the remaining 12 guys and get those guys up here. But we'll have to work through what that looks like at the appropriate time. But at the moment, we've got 33 guys that are here over the next 5 weeks, looking to perform really strongly.
Simon, just in terms of selection, how are you managing to assess the guys who are outside of the first 22, best 22 at the moment in terms of their form, playing these 12 by 12 games and open space and huge numbers. How do you sort of manage that to know who's actually ready to go?
Yeah, look, it's difficult. You know, it is a different game, the way the game's played in those small-sided games. But all you can go by is their training form, what they do in those games, their attitude towards getting better, and the opportunity that's presented in front of them. So, you know, we've got a number of guys in that basket. You know, we think we've got some really good opportunity with depth at our footy club, and it still really is competitive for spots. So, you know, it comes down to your attitude to training and how you perform at training, but also in those little match simulation games.
Simon, you still would have taken, or you would have left the players behind if you knew you probably need more players used over the next sort of 4 or 5 weeks with 4 to 5 day breaks. Do you think if you knew that was coming, you would have maybe taken up your whole squad, or would you still left a few behind?
Yeah, look, you know, we're speaking in hypotheticals. Until we get clarity on what that looks like, we'll adapt to what the situation looks like. You know, the AFL have been really good with working towards being really accommodating in that space. If it gets to a stage where we are condensed games and we are away a bit longer, then we'll look to get the rest of our squad up, and the AFL work with us to do that. Until that time comes, though, we're really comfortable with the 33 that we've got here over the next 5-week period.
Sorry, just one more, Simon, on selection. I know we're peppering you about it a little bit. Just with what's been happening, was there any temptation to fall back on the experience of Nathan Jones this week?
Yeah, look, Nathan's certainly putting his hand up for selection. You know, he hasn't played a lot of footy. You know, we're really hard with him to get his body right and back to full fitness. He didn't play last week in the match simulation. He was still managing a little bit of soreness in that space. So, you know, but he did train really well on Wednesday, and another week of training, and we think we'll get him back into peak condition. So he'll push really closely over the next couple of weeks.
Thanks, Simon. Who are the most senior players you've left in Melbourne, or are they're all young players?
Generally all young players at this stage.